In this video, I am going to go over a broad overview of making attribute and spatial queries. Queries are used to select a group of features and table records based on certain conditions. In an attribute query, also known as a definition or table query, queries are used to search and gather records based on specified attribute values. SQL, short for Structured Query Language, as well as an integrated version of SQL in ArcGIS, are programming languages that can be used to make those queries. Spatial queries are a special type of database query that search based on spatial data geometry instead of an attribute. As I just mentioned, attribute queries search a table or database and select certain features based on their attribute values. For example, say you have a shapefile or a table of all the cities in the United States, but you just want the cities in Tennessee. Lucky for you, one of the attributes in this dataset is the state name that each city is in. So you would perform an attribute query to select all the cities with a value of Tennessee in the state name column. I have included a couple hyperlinks for help to better understand SQL. The first link is for SQL as a language in general, and the second is for using SQL in ArcGIS. If you got nervous when I said it was a programming language, there's no need to worry. The built-in version of SQL in ArcGIS is quite simple, and I will give you a few examples of the more general SQL query in a moment. It's not required to learn SQL, but you still need to have some understanding of it. But if you do have the interest or time, I would highly suggest taking a look at those websites because it could make your life a lot easier in the long run. In SQL syntax, you will make a select from where statement. You will select whichever columns you want from a specific table where there are certain attribute values. For example, in the first SQL statement on the slide, you are going to select all the columns, the asterisk here means all, from the streets table where the name Sam is listed as the value in the editor column. An SQL statement for the query I just mentioned at the beginning of the slide could be select the column name from a table called cities where the state has a value of Tennessee. Moving on to spatial queries. Spatial queries are like attribute queries, but instead of searching for a value in a table, it searches based on the location of a point, line, or polygon shapefile. In the example on the left, the file that is being searched is the orange polygons, which are probably counties. It searched for the polygons that are completely within the red circle. As you can see, only the polygons that are completely within the circle without overlapping it have been selected. In the example on the right, a single polygon was selected. Instead of searching for objects within another object like the red circle in the example on the left, it's selecting the polygons that border it. It does that in 2 stages. So the middle image is the first time it ran with 1 polygon to begin with, and then 5 on the second run, and then the third image began with the second run starting with 5 and ended with quite a few more than that at the end.